Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Corey here with special guest Dwight Witten of Tony and Dwight on 84 WHAS. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Corey, it's good to see you. Wait, look, listen, we've been trying to do this a year, 2 years. How long have we been trying to do this?
At least 18 months.
It's been a while, so it's good to get over here.
Not that anybody's keeping track.
I was keeping track, man. I wanted to come over here and do this, and I wanted you to try this. What about that, huh?
Honestly,
Yeah?
it's not bad.
Right.
I don't really fuck with tequila,
Uh-huh.
but I can honestly say that's all right.
It's finished in a bourbon barrel. You can taste, you can smell the wood, you can taste the bourbon. It's good stuff.
It's like giving a blowjob to a redwood.
Well, I guess I don't know why they didn't put that in the commercial. That's a great line for them.
Be careful now, any more of these. Say that word line again, somebody might get excited. So, Dwight, how'd you get into radio, man?
Wow, how long do we got? So, how did I get in radio? All I wanted to do since I was 7 years old was be in radio. I fell in love. I listened to wacky radio in the 70s. It was Bill Bailey. He was the morning guy. And I said, that's what I want to do. I want to do that. And so, obviously, the first step was working at a car wash. So I got out of high school, barely I got out of high school. And I thought I still always wanted to be in radio. And, you know, you get something in your veins, and you can't clean it out. So I thought it was a pipe dream, because if you go to college, you go to med school, you be a doctor. Yeah. You go to law school, you be a lawyer. The fuck do you do to become a radio DJ? You know? So I saw an ad in the back of Rolling Stone magazine, and it was a course, it was a correspondence course, and it's $1,500, and I was making $200 a week. And I thought, well, $1,500. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford this. But the only reason I wanted to do it is because it said you will work in a studio in your market, radio station. So I thought, man, it'd be worth $1,500 if I could just get in there. I know I could prove it.
Just get your foot in the door.
Yeah, if I could just get my foot in the door. But I was working a car wash. God bless mothers. I leaned on my mother. She lent me a $1,500 loan, and I got the correspondence course.
I think it paid off.
Yeah, it did. Boy, it did. And, you know, I'm doing what I love. And if it goes away, I've got nothing to complain about, because I got to do what I loved. You know? So I get the correspondence course, and they put me in WQMF radio. And that's what I loved.
You lucky prig.
God, I'm telling you, because I loved WLRS first, and then WQMF second. And then Ron Clay worked at WQMF. Mm-hmm. He was my second radio idol. Okay, so
I remember of Ron, yeah.
So I'm in the same hallway, Zucker around the whole bit, and I get in there and I'm interning. You don't get paid anything. As I was working 3 other jobs, and I was interning. And then I was in there with college graduates. And if I go too long, let me know. It's a long-ass story.
Bro.
So I'm in there with...
You're good.
I'm in there with college students, and they have communications degrees they're working on. Well, all they do is sit in the studio and shoot the shit with the disc jockeys. And instead, I went into like production studios. I said, how does this work? Show me how this works. Okay, how does this work? And they have to show me how the equipment works. I say, hey, do you want me to dub that commercial for you? Can I cart this up for you? They used to play commercials and songs off little blue 8-tracks that were called carts. And so
I used to have an orange one, believe it or not.
Yeah, but so I used to ask people, what can I do? What kind of your work can I do?
Yeah.
To make myself useful, but more importantly, I wanted to learn the equipment. You know what I mean? So I learned all the equipment, and there was a program director by the name of Gary Guthrie, and he said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hire you for 2 hours on a Sunday for 2 weeks, and then it's over with. And you're not going to be on the radio. You're going to roll tape. The disc jockeys would pre-record their show, and I would play the reel-to-reel tape for the voices and play the song. So I said, okay. And then after 2 weeks, they hired me for a little bit more. Then they finally hired me on. It was $4.25 an hour. Mm. I was still working 2 of the other 3 jobs, and I was working 2 of their radio stations. I was working 60 hours a week there, but I only get paid for 20 hours, because that way they wouldn't have to pay me insurance. Mm. So, long story longer, It was 2 years, man. It was 2 years before I got hired on to the morning show.
I thought you were going to say long story short.
No, long story longer, baby. I told you it's a long one. So long story longer.
Sometimes you ain't got to be honest.
So long story longer. For almost 2 years, I was working 7 days a week, counting those 2 radio stations, 2 other jobs, 4 jobs, really 3 jobs. And on Friday, because of the way all the jobs lined up, I would work 24 hours every Friday. 24-hour day. I was in my 20s, and here's how I justified it. I said, well, you didn't get to go to college, but if you did go to college, you would have to work during college to pay your tuition. So I justified it somewhere, but it all worked out, But it's a brutal business. It's a brutal business.
I mean, that's not a bad analogy when you think about it.
Yeah,
but when you're referencing it to the college.
Well, that's what I was doing too. I mean, quite frankly, that was my college, working and getting paid very little.
Like you would in college, working a job.
Right. But more importantly, it got me in, and God bless my mom, because she knew that was a dream of mine. Mm-hmm. And here I am, 56 years old, and from the age of 7, I've been in the game for 30 years now. Knock on wood, will be 20 more. I don't know, but I love it. I still love it today. I love going to work every single day. I honestly say that.
Like, what's that old saying? It ain't work if you love what you do.
Yeah. You love what you do for a living. You'll never work a day in your life. But it's true, man. I mean, I go in, and there's more to it. People think that you go in and that's the best part. Mm-hmm. There's prep, and there's that production and meetings and all that. That's horseshit in any job.
Most of the time it is.
But the 3 hours I'm on the air, I'm on the air with 2 of my best friends. And it sounds like we're having fun in there because we're having fun in there, And by the way, what do you think about this tequila again? Pretty good?
Alex Raimondo, Ron White.
Alex Raimondo, Ron White, #1 tequila. I got something extra special for you here in a minute. Snuck something here on your set.
So, before dare I say, let me ask you this. Do I want to find out what special thing you got for me? Hey, that sounds kind of creepy. When you think about it off the B-roll side, it sounds a little creepy.
Yeah, well, don't edit this.
Hey, I got something special for you.
No, trust me, you're going to like it, Corey.
Right,
you're
sure.
You're going to like it. You're like, I've known you, what, more than 20 years?
Probably 20.
Yeah.
Close right at 20.
Right, yeah. You don't need to trust me, right?
Enough.
Enough. Maybe not. Maybe
I mean, my grandpa taught you in high school.
Yeah, Mr. Lawson.
Yeah. So how long have you and Tony had your show on 840?
We've been on 840 for 7 years, WHAS, but we started out together in rock radio. We were both at WQMF. And the thing about Tony is, and me, when I first started working there, he hated me. I didn't care for him either,
Damn, at least you're keeping it honest.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, South End guy had the mullet. I wore sweatsuits the whole bit. He's a Trinity guy. He's always dressed in line, stuff like that. And we didn't know each other. There wasn't any reason for us to not like each other. But for some reason we didn't. Then we got to know each other, and the rest is history. But this is actually our second show, because I did mornings on WQMF with Rocky Troy and Jim Bullitt and some other people. Mm-hmm. And then got fired from that because of budget cuts. And then I managed to stay in radio selling advertising.
I do that because people use an excuse for not liking you, like budget cuts. Just fucking tell me you don't like me.
Yeah. Well,
fuck.
That's true too. So maybe they didn't like me.
Budget cuts. Budget these nuts. How about that?
Maybe just to save a little bit of my ego, I'll say the budget cuts.
But you get what I'm saying.
No, I get exactly.
People can't just be honest.
I get exactly what you're saying.
You're better off hurting my feelings than telling me a lie.
So even when I made it,
yeah.
or I thought I made it, I was on the #1 radio, the #1 morning show on the market. I mean, QMF was huge in mornings.
Way big back then.
Yeah. So I'm on the #1 show. I'm doing my share. I'm writing the biz.
Kevin, loving it.
I'm only making $17,500 a year. That's it. Okay, so by the grace of God,
you found a sugar mama.
Well, no, I go and I knock on our president's door, and he goes. The guy's name was Doug James, Played for Michigan. He was Michigan's football
Went
captain.
to the sales.
The sales
class
guy,
of '82.
yeah.
Class
James.
of '03 here. What's poppin', Doug?
Everything I got on with Doug James. I knock on his door and say, "Hey,
That's
Doug."
my guy. I love Doug.
Doug's the best.
A fucking badass All-American football
He's
player.
absolutely the best.
Was a badass.
So I go in. I might have said Mr. James because he was the president or whatever. I said, "Hey, I'm not making much money. I'm making $75 a year. Can I supplement my income by selling radio when I get off the air?" And he said, "Well, you don't have any experience." I said, "No, but I told him, kind of wanted to prove myself." What I didn't know is my death warrant was signed 2 weeks before I had that conversation. I was a budget cut. They called it Black Friday. They came in, they fired people from WAMZ, WQMF, every fucking station, you know what I mean? So when I got fired, I walked in to my program director, Michael Lee, God rest his soul, and I get in there and here's Doug James and whoever was with HR, and they said, "Well, you're fired. You can take a severance package which is 2 months of your salary." Well, what's 2 months of $17,500?
$1,200.
I mean, I don't know. It's not much. Or you could take a job in sales. So I went in sales, and I sat on the bench 4 or 5 years in sales, just waiting to get back in the game. Well, they fired Stern, and they came and got me, and they said, "Well, you want to do Fox mornings, 100.5 the Fox?" And I said,
Nah.
I said, "Yeah." And they said, I said, "I got to have a sidekick, or not a sidekick, but a partner."
Yeah.
So they said, "Well, we're going to fly this guy in from Seattle and see how you mesh." And I said, "No, I want somebody from Louisville." And they said, "Well, who? If you have anybody to do it, who would it be?" I said, "Tony Vanetti." I want
That prick from Trinity.
I said, "We'll be a good team." Well, little did I know, they pulled him in later that day, and they said, "If you did mornings, who would you do mornings with?" And Tony said, "If I can do it with Dwight Witten, I'll do it." And so we got in there, and I got to tell you, it was rough taking over for Howard Stern because people love Stern, and I love Stern.
They still do. He's on Sirius?
I loved Howard Stern back then. And so we would get calls, people go calling up saying, "I hope you die from cancer. I hope you." It's horrible, man. But
thanks, your dick's little.
yeah, but within like 4 months, we wound up being number one in the market and actually beating Bob and Tom. So the chemistry was there, But it's been a long, bumpy journey.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's still not over yet.
Just hopefully it's not bumpy in certain areas.
Yeah. Everything gets a little bit bumpy, Corey.
What was, other than getting let go, what's been your biggest disappointment in your radio career?
God, that's a tough one. There's not very many disappointments. I can't think of anything in my career.
Hardest thing that you had to overcome professionally other than that?
The pay. You don't make a lot of radio.
People think you make a lot of good money. You don't.
No, you're quite right, because when I first got hired on mornings on WQMF, I was making $17,500 a year. Yeah. And one of my gigs, I told you how I worked 24 hours every Friday. One of the gigs and place I was working would be Phoenix Hill Tavern, and people would come up and go, "Hey, Mr. Morning Show, this round's on you." And I'm like, no, it's not. Everybody was making more money than me. That was probably one of the disappointments, and there's not a lot of pay there. I mean, Terry Miners, he's a superstar. God love him. He deserves it. Coyote Calhoun, great salary, great guy.
He's a cool dude.
He's the best. I mean, he's a Louisville radio legend.
Number one.
But you make more. You really make your money with your partners, your sponsors. You know. And so I do all right with my sponsors. But radio, it's not the pay everybody thinks, But I do really well because God's blessed me with some of the greatest sponsors there are, because I actually love them. I mean, it's my Shady Rays. I wear my Shady Rays. I've got over 30 pair. I actually love them. Barron's Pizza. Me and my wife are Barron's every single Friday night, unless it's a wedding or some other crap we got to attend. So it's easy to talk about them, because it's legitimate and it's honest. So I'm blessed in that way, and I've turned things down because I'm thinking, well, it's not me, and I don't want to lead anybody down a wrong path. But I guess that would probably be the biggest letdown. But I can't complain, because I do okay, but I love what I do, and that balances out,
Oh, for sure. So how did you meet your lovely wife, Susan?
Susan, Okay, here's the story with Susan.
Because I compare you with her, me with my wife. Ain't no fucking way motherfuckers like us should have women like that.
Well, here's how I met
Because
Susan.
we're both fucking nuts.
And she's going to hate me for telling this story.
It's alright. Susan knows me. She knows I'm a good young dude.
There was a strip club out in Louisville. And it was known for having the hottest women there were. Okay?
Was there 3 ugly ones there?
No.
You don't remember in the sports paper section?
I remember
hundreds of beautiful women and 3 ugly ones.
I remember days.
Like, why would you do that?
Just for the goof on it. But there was a strip club that was known for having the most beautiful women in Louisville. Okay. I went there one night. She was parking cars. I'm teasing. Bad attempt as a joke. No.
I mean, she's pretty. I thought she'd have been one of the main attractions. She's pretty.
Look, my wife is drop dead gorgeous. She's smart. She's one of the most intelligent women you're ever going to meet. I've got nothing. I goof on her a lot. That's all just goofing on the radio. I got to tell you, I have no idea how I got blessed with her because here I am in rock radio. I'm making $17.5 a year. She's well educated, knockout blonde, successful, but your first day or your first week, they made you sit in on the morning show with us. And she had the third mic chair right next to me. And somehow I kind of wormed my way in there. But that was a rocky road, man, because I'm not the same guy I used to be. I was a real asshole to her, and I'm regretful. But I'm trying to make it up to her by giving her my best every single day. But I got to tell you, I was a horrible, horrible boyfriend. We broke up for years. I tried to get back with her. She was saying nothing doing. But, again, thank God, somehow we got back together. I made some changes. It took a lot of changes. I think she saw that. But, yeah, I thought I'd lost my dream girl because of my stupidity. I was too young and I was too stupid. But everything worked out.
You talking back around the time when James Roberts used to cut your hair at Sheer Wizardry, or before that?
She goes to Sheer Wizardry.
Still, Johnny?
She drives all the way out to Sheer Wizardry.
Good old Johnny.
Johnny Bohannon. And she gets...
Big Hammy.
Yeah, she gets her haircut with John Bohannon.
I used to see her in there all the time. She's what, every 4 or 6 weeks, faithfully.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So, thankfully, I got the one for me. And I got to tell you, we don't have kids, but I don't know why I do without her.
You got dogs.
Yeah, we got Lemmy Dog. We got Lemmy Dog, but I honestly don't know what I do without her. She's my cornerstone.
Funny story, I met my wife on Plenty of Fish. Any of y'all remember the dating app?
Mm-hmm.
I swear I did. Our buddy in the background throwing his fist. It's funny. That's
Coach Kevin Watson over there, by the way.
The first time I see her, I'm like, shit, this motherfucker's alright looking. Let me do. Well, wouldn't give any time of day. So months, maybe a year or so went by. I guess she became single again. I see her on there, and I hit her up, and she's like, man, this motherfucker won't leave me alone. Nah, I'm horny. What you think? Nah. Well, yeah, but not the only reason why. And we hit it off the first time we hang out. I shit you not. I'm on the way to her house. We was during the day, just like gonna cook, and then I was just gonna roll out. Nothing.
Right.
As I'm pulling into her fucking apartment, my fucking radiator busts. So, like, I couldn't drive my car. I was like, hey, buddy.
The old busted radiator routine. Well, I guess I have to stay here another night.
I mean, yeah.
You couldn't just pull the wire off the alternator. You had to go full on busted radiator, Corey.
She was standing outside, and she watched me pull in. I mean, long story short, going on close, probably, I think, 10 and a half, 11 years together, and be 8 years of marriage in August.
Did you like the dating app? Because the years I was
honestly, dude, fuck no.
I experimented with a couple.
More disappointment than anything.
I got kicked off. Yeah, you're right. I got kicked off Christian Mingle.
What about Little Mojo?
No, Christian Mingle. They said, "What do you see? What would you like to see in a woman?" And I said, "My
her
dick."
vagina.
I said, "My dick." No, that's a joke. But I did get on. There was a what was it? What's the one that was real?
Little Mojo.
No, it's like a national brand. What's the dating site I'm trying to think of? Well, it's a national brand.
Is the color like?
This is it. Anyway, it was a national dating site. I get on there, and this is where I was trying to turn my life around. All right, I said, look, I got to meet a good woman.
Susan's not fucking with me. Fuck it.
Well, I said, I lost the best thing ever happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, look, here's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a good time anymore. I'm looking for a wife. You know what I mean? So I go on this dating website. It's a national site.
Did it start with a the letter M or a V or something?
What?
I think the colors were like blue and white. I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Coach, any idea?
Yeah, Coach has been with his wife.
Okay,
Years,
yeah. I can't think of it. At any rate, it's a national
Matchmaker?
No.
Google it, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
We'll continue the story. He'll Google it.
Yeah. So okay. So I get on this. I said, look, I'm not looking for a good time anymore. I need a wife. I need to settle down. You know, I'm changing my ways. So I get on there, and this hot blonde sends me a message. I'm like, there's no way this is this real hot blonde. So we start talking, and she goes, well, then text me, and I'll send you pictures, you know, whatever. Not dirty pictures, but, you know, we'll talk. I said, how do you know I'm not
Sometimes dirty are better than clean.
Yeah. So, well, sometimes they're not. So I said,
oh, shit.
So I said, look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's go out on a date. But in my profile, I said, I'm looking for a girl that doesn't do drugs, X, Y, Z. I was looking for wife material. You know, I wasn't looking for a party girl anymore.
eHarmony.
eHarmony.
Oh!
eHarmony.
You got kicked off that too?
No, I went on. No, but it was.
Should you?
I got duped because this girl. She goes, yeah, no, I don't do drugs. No, I want this. No, I want something else. Hell, I'll bet. So I said, okay, here's what we'll do. I'm gonna take you out. Seinfeld's at the Palace. We'll go see Seinfeld. Well, I get there and I said, well, you don't drink, but I'm gonna have a tequila. And she goes, no, I don't drink. I don't do anything. But then she starts slurring, wobbling. I'm from the South End. I can realize when somebody's on pills. You know, I've been at the Thorntons long enough to know when somebody's on pills.
Yeah.
So she starts slurring. I thought, oh, gosh, she's on pills. So we go and get our seats, and she doesn't laugh at any of the opening acts. She just kind of sits there. And I'm looking at her like, does she understand comedy? Or what? You know, what's wrong with this woman? Well, if Seinfeld comes out, he's just slaying it. One. And we're all laughing our ass off.
But
she's not. But then she decides, hey, I need to fit in somehow. All right? And so anytime somebody would laugh, she would start going, It was just, the whole thing was bizarre.
What's the girl on Friends that laughed?
Phoebe or Monica.
But I got duped, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So yeah, I wasn't much on dating websites, but thank God I got back with Susan somehow. I asked her out to all these concerts. She said, no way.
Finally, she got tired of you saying, keep asking her something?
Well, I tried to wear her down. She wasn't having it. And she had a good reason. If I was her, I never would talk to me again. But she did, and I think because she saw I changed and X, Y, Z, and the rest is history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to get a little sentimental here you knew I was going to talk
I kind
about
of know where this is going, so I'm going to pour a little. No, you know what I'm going to do?
But I just wanted to, man, because he was my fucking guy, too. He was my buddy.
Yeah, you're talking about Russell Witten.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how much he meant to you and how much he did for you as a kid until I started going to his house, cutting his hair here and there, cutting his neighbor Ron's hair.
Yeah, Ron.
Yeah, he's still alive?
He's still there. I saw him. So, you know, as weird as this is.
So how was that when you got the call? Because for you, you knew. For me, I didn't, because when you never text me. You text me and it was like, Russ ain't doing good. I'm like, how the fuck? I just seen him 4 weeks ago, talking to him on his front porch.
And that's how quick it went. And you know, I gotta just let them know. When I was 15, my dad committed suicide.
Shit.
And then it was horrible, man, because here I'm a 15-year-old punk, you know, and always getting in trouble.
Maybe that's why it didn't work out the first time. Maybe you had some stuff to work out before you can reconnect.
I still haven't worked it out. I talked to because I was just talking to Coach Kevin Watson earlier, and he said, "Hey, I saw your Doss Hall of Fame speech. Well done." And you know, here's when I told Coach that. I said, "Look, the very next day after my father's suicide, I went straight to school." And so we were talking about that the other day, my wife and I. Said, you know, I still haven't really dealt with it. You It might need to. I don't know. I got some issues, but anyway,
We all do.
worst part about it is, I was sick, and he hears me coughing, and he takes me to the kitchen, and do you remember the old real cough syrup that had codeine and all that shit in it? You know,
God,
you take too much.
Sorry.
And you're screwed up. So my pop gives me these 2 tablespoons. All right, 2 tablespoons of this codeine, and it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, 6 o'clock comes, and man, I'm messed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm messed up, and along with that, I'm fatigued from the codeine, and I got a fever on top of it. I said, Dad, man, I'm not going to school today. He goes, yeah, you're going. So I guess he had it planned. I said, no, I'm not going. We got to get in an argument. So my last words to my father was, I fucking hate you.
Mm.
And I was saddled with that for up till a few years ago, and I finally realized he realized I was a 15-year-old.
You didn't mean it.
No, I didn't mean it, but had I known that would be the last words of my father,
You obviously would have said
it would
it,
have quite different.
but
So,
you never know.
with that story behind us, he had many brothers, and Russell Witten was one of them.
Okay, that makes sense.
And immediately, Russell Witten stepped up. And
It's like you're fucking mine.
Absolutely. And, you know, he would mentor me, and I would go by his house. As a matter of fact, you know this, I wound up living 5 doors down from the guy.
Yep.
And I lived there for 17 years till I married Susan.
I remember that.
And so it's still really difficult on me. Sometimes I'll look and I'm in disbelief.
I ain't been by that. I ain't been on that street since.
Well, it's going to sound creepy, but I have, and sometimes I'll just drive over there, and you know the green carpeted steps up to the, you know, I'll just go sit on that.
That ain't creepy.
Well, here's
your way of kind of being with them still.
Well,
you know
the only
what
reason I do it is because I know there's going to come a time in the next few weeks we're going to sell this damn house, and I won't be able to do that anymore, you know? And so that house, it just meant so much to me because the Witten family, we always look forward to Christmas because on Christmas Eve we would go to Russell's house, you know, and it would be all my aunts and uncles, all my cousins, and it was a big time. At 13 years old, my grandfather dies, and my grandmother goes, that's it, no more Christmases. So that kind of went away. So there's so much to that house that means so much to me that I'm kind of just, I can't let it go yet, you know. But Russell, I got to tell you, man, it was his second father, and we didn't see it coming. I mean, we went by and cut his hair. He was active.
Well, that was funny. So, like, the very first time I cut his hair at his house, I didn't even realize that you were his nephew.
Oh, really?
He's like, I
didn't tell a lot of people.
I said, Dwight, your nephew? It's like, take a picture. And that was probably 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
We cut it on his back porch, screened-in porch right there.
He told me something on his deathbed. Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to hospice. God love people at hospice. But
not that other place.
No. Fucking Glen Ridge is what I'll name it by.
Oh, okay.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Had to.
I mean, you know Dwight. He's gonna say it. I didn't know he's gonna say the. Anyways,
I'll say it. So anyway, he went downhill pretty quick, and I thought there's no way he's gonna die.
You text me that.
I text you that.
This shit's crazy. I was like, ain't no way he's going that quick.
But here's the blessing of it all. So we go up when he finally gets out of that shithole and he gets in hospice. I can't say enough good things about hospice. So I go up one day and he's in horrible conditions, and I remember calling my wife and I'm saying, well, yeah, I don't know if I can stay up here very much. And I thought, just get in there and be with him and hang out, man. He needs you. So I did. And then the next day I said, Susan, you got to go up here because I don't know how much longer we'll have the guy. Well, we get up there, and the very next day, he's sitting up. He's recalling shit that I forgot about. My childhood and just funny stuff.
Maybe he was.
They call it having a rally.
Well, not that. Maybe he was told by,
Well, I will tell you this.
Maybe he was supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying?
When he was in the horrible conditions, and he was really downhill, there was times that he would call, and he would look up and reach, and he would call for his brothers and sisters.
Fuck.
And so
To see that had to be hard, dude.
It was quite difficult, but it makes you wonder too. So then I talked to some preachers and different people, and they said, yeah, sometimes you can get stuck between two worlds. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I got to tell you.
I mean, I believe in purgatory personally a little bit. I did as a kid in middle school. But to hearing that, I didn't mean to
no, you're
put
fine.
you on pause, but to hear
You're
that,
fine.
that's like a livable purgatory.
Yeah, I don't know.
I look at purgatory as two sides. Like, you're stuck in the middle, because even though they put people that have been on bad behavior in purgatory, like, purgatory is also like
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
People listening and watching don't get pissed off at me. I'm just telling you my view. I don't believe in purgatory because I've yet to find something about purgatory in the Word of God.
That's cool.
But that's me. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
And for what I witnessed.
Well, I believe there's a place that we go to. I don't know. Like, I feel like
I definitely believe in heaven and hell.
I was at a time. Now that I'm older, I feel like you don't have to be any certain religion as long as you believe in a higher power upstairs. You don't fucking worship animals. I think you're good.
I believe in Jesus Christ.
Same here.
And that's bottom line. But getting back to Russell Witten,
He was reaching.
And
How do I remember that? I remember it bad.
yeah, right. So anyway, long story longer again. I say, Susan, you got to get up here. I don't know how many more days we got. We get up there. He's sharp as a tack. We stay up with him for hours. My cousin Mitch comes up. My brother, my mother. The guy's singing. He's whistling the whole bit. Sharp as a tack, like you knew him.
Final show.
Very next day, man, it was bad news.
Fuck.
And so I walked down the hall, and I remember asking the nurse. I said, "Hey, is this what end of life looks like?" And she said, "Absolutely." And man, I was so crushed. I still remember the tears just instantly, just rolling down.
Real men cry, by the way.
Yeah, and I said, man, I can't go in there and let him see me crying because it's going to freak him out. So I said, I just got to leave. And so I went out. I walked all the way to the parking garage, downtown Louisville, freezing cold. I get in my Jeep, and I start up, and something it sat me there. And I texted Susan. I said, I can't do it. And then something just said, man, you got to get your shit together and get back in there. So I cried my eyes out for about 15 more minutes. Clean my face or whatever. And I go back up there, and I hung out with him for a little bit more. And man, the next day, my brother was up there, and he was still hanging on. And he said, I'm just going to spend the night. And he said, you know what, I'll leave. After he left, Russell let go, and he passed. And I got the call. And I believe that he was waiting for my brother to leave to go because he wanted to. But I say all that to say this. On his deathbed during the worst days, he was trying to communicate something to me. He communicated to my brother. My brother, he's had challenge with substance abuse, and he wouldn't mind me telling you this.
We all have in some shape, form,
well,
or fashion.
to the point it was really bad, and at one point he was actually homeless. But now he's been in AA for years, and he's been clean and sober. And Russell told him, "Stay dry, stay dry." He told me, "Remember the 3 C's: don't criticize, don't complain, and don't condemn."
That's a hell of a final saying. Holy shit.
Right. And since he's done that, I've been trying to do it. Man, it's difficult. It's difficult. You get in traffic. But I've been trying to live by these 3 C's, and I'm failing every single day, but I'm trying harder. You
told me this great thing, but I ain't fucking listening.
Well, no, I try, but man, don't criticize, complain.
It's hard to not criticize on the radio. I mean, that's that's partially what you get paid to do.
Is an opinion, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that was a rough one on me, man. Russell Witten, God rest his soul. To Russell.
My buddy.
Our buddy.
Oh, sure, buddy. How many more buddies, buddy?
Buddy.
It's like saying bro 357 times.
Or ace or sport.
All right, let's get back into happier stuff.
Yeah, let's do that.
What's the craziest interview you and Tony have ever had?
God, craziest interview.
Because I know y'all probably had some shit that maybe not made the air, or things you couldn't put out, or something that.
Well, okay,
that's kind of wild.
I don't want to talk about the craziest, but I'll talk about the one I was most terrified about. but it actually wound up being a good interview. For whatever reason, I booked John Lydon from the Sex Pistols. If you know anything about Johnny Rotten and the Sex Pistols,
Anybody knows music, you know who that is.
and you're going to know that he's going to be an asshole to whoever's going to be interviewing him. You're going to get roasted. He's going to humiliate you the whole bit.
That's kind of his niche.
Yeah,
right?
and so the night before, God, I'm sick to my stomach. I look at my wife Susan. What the fuck have I done? Why would I do this to myself? But whenever I interview an artist, like a musician, I'll listen to their music non-stop. It drives my wife crazy because that's all she'll hear for 3 or 4 days. And she'll go, oh, you interviewing Tom Waite or whoever I'm listening to. So I listen to Sex Pistols non-stop. I do my homework. One of the nicest guys I ever interviewed. Did 20 minutes with me the entire time, and I had to let him go. Yeah. So that was probably the most unexpected interview because I thought I was scared to death going into that Johnny Rotten interview.
Damn.
Yeah. And then one of the most surreal ones was when we first got back in the studios from COVID. All but Tony and Dave, we wanted to be in the studio. They wouldn't let us. But we finally get in the studio, and I'm unapologetically a fan of Lowe. I love Barry Manilow. Okay?
A fan of Lowe. What the fuck is that?
I'm a fan of Lowe, baby. I don't care who knows.
What about Tom Jones?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's not unusual. Actually,
Neither is that.
Wow, Goodfellas on the TV. Yeah, whipping him with the 38 there.
You want some of this? No.
So, one of the weirdest, most surreal part is I'm interviewing Barry Manilow, and it was right during the COVID deal, and we're like 3 minutes into it. I always do my research, get all these questions done, got these great questions for him. 2 minutes into the Barry Manilow interview, my boss, hey, you got to let him go. The president's going to do us an update on COVID. So I silenced it and said, what are you talking about? We get updates every 15 minutes. Just let us roll. And kept pushing. He made me drop Barry Manilow to hear the same shit that we heard every single day during COVID. You know, don't sneeze in your hand and kiss somebody, whatever it might have been. So that sucked because he was funny and he was engaged. And it was Barry Manilow, you know?
You're a fucking fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Lowe.
Fan of Lowe.
And you got to try this too, by the way.
So yeah, let's get to that. What is
this?
That?
Is straight from Cabo San Lucas. You can't get here. You know what? I'm a #1 loyalist.
Let me finish this first, and then we'll pour it.
Okay, I'll finish it with
you. Hey, I got no kids, no wife.
To win
next Tuesday.
All right. Wow.
They've been gone since last Wednesday.
Okay. I'm gonna get Coach over here too. Now, normally I wouldn't.
Brad, you want a little swig? Come on. Oh, you got some.
Here, I'm gonna pass the bottle to you.
No, but that's the other. That's the other
This
stuff.
This is the Don Cayo, and the only normally I wouldn't share this with anybody, but the only reason I'm sharing it, you pour your own, Coach. Pour your own. The only reason I'm doing this because we're heading back to Mexico in like 8
a hell
days.
of a different. So how you like being interviewed?
It's different, man. I gotta tell you.
You feel weird?
I always feel weird. That's why I drink tequila amongst other things. So taste this and tell. Is that incredible? I mean, be honest. If you don't like it, say something. But this Don Cayo,
I'm a fan.
right?
I thought you were being facetious when you said that shit.
Honest opinion on this.
It doesn't burn your nose as bad when you sniff it. I know this ain't wine, but like sometimes when you sniff tequilas, this shit'll fucking hit you like Rick James.
So one thing I learned about honestly,
I don't think it's as smooth as the
number
stuff
one?
Alex and Ron have, but it's a close second. I mean, it don't really burn you like most tequilas do.
right?
It's pretty decent.
Well, see,
it's not bad at all.
I swore off tequila for years, but I didn't know I wasn't really.
They say it's healthy for you.
It's great for you. I wasn't. No, I swore off tequila for probably 2 decades, but then I realized I wasn't drinking real tequila. If you drink a real blue agave tequila, there's no hangover.
Not no Patron shit.
No, Patron's a good one.
That's agave?
If it's 100% blue agave, tequila. You won't get a hangover unless you mess the sugary shit. That's what messes with your head, gives you a hangover. So I disclose this on radio all the time. I've suffered from depression my entire life. All right, and
Most men with little dicks do.
well, of course, I was going to get to my little dick, but you already stole my thunder. So there's no hangover, and it doesn't mess with my depression. That's the only thing.
Serious?
I'm serious. This is the only thing that doesn't.
So you're saying like beer and other shit actually messes
Oh yeah,
with it?
beer. I would
That's
be.
the first time I've heard that.
I would be in a depression for, especially now, 2 days, because
Damn.
beer, whiskey, all that shit. It's a depressant. Tequila is a stimulant.
Kind of like sativa.
Yeah, a lot like sativa. They're right. This is the sativa. All the other shit's indica. From what I've read, the articles I've read.
Not that you would know anything about either.
No. Well, I've had to do research for a paper.
Even though it's legal in 3/4 of the states, but here nor there.
Yeah, legalize it. I mean, come on. I mean,
Speaking of legalizing, let's
Yeah.
stay on that.
okay.
We'll still definitely be the last state to legalize marijuana.
Oh, listen. Mark Twain said, when the end of the world comes, I want to be in Kentucky. Why? Because Kentucky's 20 years behind everybody. I don't know if we'll ever, because
Look how long it took us to get gambling legal.
well, it's still not gaming. It's Churchill Downs, trying to put. There's good organizations out there like Shirley's Way and charitable gaming, and they're trying to move them out.
I heard that. That's what Mike's talking about.
How much is enough? How much?
Oh, so they're not doing it no more?
Shirley's Way's going to end soon.
How
Terrible game.
How much is enough? How much is enough? Because you're already not paying your fair share in taxes. You got a monopoly on gaming. The hell do you want? What the hell? What more do you want? And shame on some of our legislators for, quite frankly, in my opinion, probably getting paid off.
Damn.
I'm just saying, the horse racing industry and the bourbon industry makes sense, right?
True.
Because if people are partaking in indica or sativa or whatever kind of marijuana, they might not drink. Mm-hmm. It's going to hurt the bourbon industry. And if you had, the stupid bullshit with the gaming that's going on right now, here's how it should have been done. America was built on competition. Would you agree with that? Competition, it makes everybody do better. Well, they've removed the competition.
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to, but they've removed the competition, and they've given everything to Churchill Downs. Everything. So will the product get better if you have a monopoly? No. What they should have done is they should have just went ahead and let legitimate casinos that actually know what the fuck they're doing come in and make bids. And if you want to wake up downtown, make 4th Street Live a fucking casino. A legitimate casino with entertainment, craps,
Don't touch
roulette.
the top floor.
Yeah. Don't touch the studios. Don't
God damn.
touch the studios.
Took y'all forever to get something nice like that.
Boy, it's beautiful. Our studios are beautiful. Beautiful. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant on that, but it's a sore subject with me. It really is.
That'd be all right.
Now I'll be all right though. I'll be all right. I'm not even a gambler, man.
Right is right, wrong is wrong.
The wife and I, we went to Vegas to see the Stones. You know how much we bet there? Not 1 penny. Not 1 cent.
Shut up.
Not 1 cent. I swear to you. Not 1 cent. I did this at a nice little place called Planet 13 that I highly recommend, but enough about that. But look it up for yourself while you're out there. But no, we didn't gamble. Not 1 slot, nothing. Not even 1 cent. We're not gamblers.
Me?
Planet 13.
Oh, Planet 13.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about Planet 13. Let's clearly okay. So when you go to Las Vegas,
It's a safe place
weed's
for
legal.
people like Snoop Dogg.
Weed's legal, okay? So I want to check it out. So I keep hearing Planet 13. You got Planet 13. So I go to this Planet 13, gigantic building, big red globe out front, Planet 13. So I go in there, and first thing to do is check your ID. You're over 21. And then I go up, and there's like iPad stations.
Yeah.
So you got to fill out, and you've got the option to either put your cell phone in or not put your cell phone in because you're going to wait. If you don't put your cell phone in, you just got to watch the screen and see your initials where you are in line. So I go ahead, and I think, I give him my cell phone. What do I care? You know,
Who gives a fuck? Yeah.
So I go in there, I did that, and then I look around, I thought, well, I'll probably have like a 10-minute wait, whatever. So I go in and I start looking at all the products. Then I realize there's a bunch of people ahead of me. There's 45 minutes people worth ahead of me, and it's not because of lack of registers. They have 75 registers.
Oh.
75 of them going. 75 registers going, okay? And here I'm waiting 45 minutes to get, whatever I wanted, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Don't believe.
Because I got a keychain, I got a nice Planet 13 shirt, some stuff like that, maybe a koozie, some other shit. But
Allegedly.
But 45 minutes I waited, and they got 75 registers, man. They're just raking in the cash.
I wish Walmart's had that many.
I wish they had two. What a pain in the ass that's gotten to be, man, just going to the store.
Man, what's the worst piece of advice you've ever been told professionally?
Worst piece of advice I've ever been.
It doesn't necessarily have to be professionally per se, just in general, worst piece of advice. And then follow it up with the best piece of advice.
Fuck, that's a hard one, man.
You talking about your dick?
No, definitely not. That's
Okay, go.
56 years old.
Hopefully not right now.
All right, so what's the worst piece of advice? Go ahead. I think you can do it. That's been in many situations, and I've never been able to do it. It's always gotten me in trouble. Best piece of advice I've ever gotten was don't condemn, don't criticize,
That's
and
true.
don't complain. That's the best advice I've ever gotten. Second to that would be tough times never last, tough people do. That got me through a lot of
You
shit.
said it wrong. You got to say it the way Razor Ramon did.
Who's Razor Ramon?
Hey, Chico. Are you Scott Hall? You're shitting me.
I swear.
Planet 13, allegedly.
I don't, no, that's
No, he goes, tough times don't last, but bad guys do. It is an infamous saying.
it's from a movie.
No, from the wrestler Scott Hall.
Oh,
Razor Ramon.
I haven't watched wrestling since Handsome Jimmy Valiant, Bill Superstar Dundee, and Coco Ware, and the Holy Ghost
Saturday,
Splash.
was it Tuesday nights at the Garden?
It was Tuesday night at the Gardens. Daddy, me and Pop used to go down there. I had Handsome Jimmy Valiant. He came out with a single. I bought the damn thing and played it over and over on my radio. I loved it. But I got a little suspicious because I would miss a Tuesday and I would rush to the paper to try and find the wrestling scores. And I go, wait a minute. Why come they never cover wrestling? So I got tipped off early that it might have been a little allegedly fake.
All right.
But you know what?
Okay, go ahead.
Taylorsville Lake is fake, and that's beautiful, and a lot of women have
The people
fake.
are fake.
A lot of people have fake breasts. Those are beautiful too.
Hey, you know what? More the merrier.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, majority rules.
Yeah, right.
That's what I say to titties. Majority rules, more the merrier. Who complains about bigger and better titties?
Well, I only want.
We know who does, but I'm not.
Liquids taste just as good as the beer.
We know who complains.
I only want two. I don't
Yeah.
want more than
We
one.
know who
titty.
complains
I
about-
want.
We know who complains about bigger and better titties, but right now, can't say it.
Would you be with a 3-titty girl? 3 titties?
If they were all together,
Would you really?
fuck it. Better than the. Never mind.
I
ain't
dated a
gonna say
girl. I dated a girl so skinny her nipples touched. She was skinny, man.
it. All right, I got two more questions.
All right, I'll try my best, but I don't know.
2 more questions.
Yes is pierced, and 3 inches.
So you have a Prince Albert.
Yeah,
Cool.
and sometimes I put it in the can.
Tuna. All
Get
right,
it?
bet. How does Dwight Witten want to be remembered when his time on Earth is said and done?
I would honestly like to start something. I've been trying to get something off the ground for years, and this is the year I'm going to do it. I'm talking to George Tammering,
Where do I know that name?
Barano's CEO.
Yeah.
Pizza. I got to tell you, I'm going to chase a squirrel here. Barano's has done more for this community than any corporate citizen that I know of.
I just don't like them because they closed their their salad bar. years
Well,
ago.
they closed the
shop.
buffet during
bullshit.
during COVID, man.
I know. I'm just playing. Barry's is amazing. I
But
love it.
Westport Road still has it. They brought it back. They brought it back to life. Westport Road. They did a little bit of a drive. But anyway, I've always wanted to start an event called Rockin' the Stocking. And it's going to be music, like a concert, and it's going to be a toy drive.
Kind of like Cram the Van that like Drew Diener and them guys do, but like a different version, more music.
Look, Drew Diener's a good friend of mine. I love him.
No, but I'm saying
I'm not familiar with the promotion.
What they do is something called Cram the Van. It's where they do like a telephone-ish thing, like crusade, and then they have people come and donate toys.
No, that's a great deal though. I wasn't aware of that. No, this will be a concert live event.
Rockin' the Stocking.
Rockin' the Stocking.
Oh, the stocking, hell yeah!
Stocking, like Christmas stocking.
And all people wearing on stage when they play music. Stocking.
No, but people to bring
disappointing
toys, money, whatever it might be, for the children because I'm on the board of what used to be called the Childhood Cancer Family Fund, and for a kid to have cancer, that's just the fucking worst, absolute worst.
For sure.
But then for a kid to have cancer and then not have a Christmas.
That's the worst.
And it happens. It happens down St. Jude because the mothers and fathers, they're with the children. A lot of the times, they don't have time. They're the hospital bed by their side. They don't get to go shop, for the kids. So Childhood Cancer Family Fund, they would set up a shop. They collect toys. Guy's named Michael Crass, great guy, and George Timmy from Barronose. And they would set up, and these kids the parents could just go down the lobby and get Christmas gifts for the kids, get a wrap, and then bam. So I want to do something similar to that in Louisville, and hopefully just some kind of goodwill legacy. If I could do anything, I'm not going to have any kids to leave anything to. That would be it, I think. Just come up with some of the kids and leave it out there when I'm gone. It continues and continues and continues. Maybe. We'll see.
That's actually all right. I'm not talking about your 3-inch. But, I mean, what you said is all right.
Hey, the piercing makes it 3 1/4. Just saying. Give me credit.
Do we have to get Sugar Mama verification?
Maybe. No, you know what? I got a picture right here for you, girl. Let me find it.
Oh. You probably do.
Yeah, it looks like a pink button on a brown sweater. It's not that impressive.
Looks like a mistletoe sold at the dollar store.
Yeah, it's
Baby bird in this.
Yeah. Yeah. The sods are kind of slumped over his duffel bag.
All right, final question. What piece of advice do you have for people out there?
If you got a dream, just keep working towards it and never give up, man. I got to tell you, I made very little in pay and radio for many, many years, and actually until I just started getting the WHS gig, I finally started making money. That's 23 years into my career. But if you find something you're passionate about, make it work somehow.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable, man. It was uncomfortable for many years. I've been working a job I love, and then I'll go to 2 jobs I fucking hated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Find a way to make it work. And sometimes, that's doing some really shitty jobs and doing the job that you want. But I got to tell you, if you have something handed to you, it's not that great of a deal. But if you work really hard, and Tony and I, we both worked really hard. He did go to Trinity, but he was a bit of a goof off. DeSales. South side. But I will tell you,
Best side.
South side's the best side. You're damn right it is, man. I still miss it, man. I come out here for Gaylors. Come out here for a lot of stuff.
Trademark that on a T-shirt.
South side. So I would say if you have a goal, if you had a wish, you got to have a dream. Everybody's got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream,
what's the purpose?
Everybody's got to have a dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be a simple dream, no matter what it is. It could just be to become some kind of collector. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't even have to be a.
You trying to make fun of all my bobbleheads?
No, it doesn't have to.
Sure.
No, it doesn't even have to be a career dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be as simple as a garden or anything like that. But go after your dream, and do whatever it takes to get there. It's worth it. I can promise you, it's worth it. There's gonna be bad times. Boy, there's gonna be some shit times. But man, it's worth it. Or it was for me, at least.
Dwight, hopefully
Yeah.
you enjoyed yourself.
I did, man. I did. I love the set, and I love the basement. Or if I said too much, am I supposed to say it?
No, you're good.
All right, that's good.
So how do you think I did?
I
always
think
ask
you, I
people
think
at
you
the end
did
of the day.
great, man. But I subscribe. I watch your podcast. I've seen Robbie in here, Robbie Valentine, Paul Rogers, all kinds of people in here. You guys, you do a really good job. You do really. Just don't apply for WHS. I don't need anybody on my heels right now.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Dwight.
Hey, cheers. All right.
Almost broke the glass.
Oh, my bad.